Would you like to learn how to make an abundance vision board? Well, stick around because today I'm going to show you exactly the steps to do to make sure that your vision board is actually working for your subconscious mind instead of working against it. Hi, I'm Amanda from CleverDoughKids.com, and if you are interested in empowering your family or even just yourself with financial literacy education that will improve your abundance quotient, then make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll know the minute my next video comes out to help you with just that. This is week 3 of our Setting Goals and Achieving Them challenge. Today I'm going to show you how to make a vision board that will actually work in your favor for achieving your most important goals. Last week we talked about the power of the subconscious mind and the power of our words and how they actually affect what happens in our life. If you haven't yet had a chance to watch that, then make sure you head over to that video and give that a watch and do the activities in there to make sure that you're on track and ready to make your vision board this week. So I have now been using vision boards for over 10 years and they are amazing. Now, as you can see here, my vision board needs some updating. So I'm actually going to walk you through how to create a vision board by updating my own so that you can see what has been working for me and what has been working against me to achieve my goals. It's a little chaotic and that actually plays with your mind, so we're going to fix that today. Alright, so you can see that my vision board is a little chaotic right now, and there are things on here that are working for my subconscious mind to help me propel myself forward to find the opportunities to make my goals come true. However, there is a big flaw in this vision board, and I'm going to share that with you in just a moment so that you won't make the same mistake. Alright, because then it will work against your subconscious mind and you'll have two fighting forces. We want everything to work and flow perfectly together so that you get to your goals as quick as possible. So now in the first video of the challenge, of the Setting Goals and Achieving Them challenge, in this video here, we talked about the galometer, which is a tool that I use to help me measure my goals that you can use to figure out which goals to go after first. When you have an idea of which goals to go after first, you're going to be more motivated to achieve that goal, your biggest goal, and then when you actually achieve that goal, you're going to be so inspired and you're going to end up achieving all of your goals. If you choose a goal that's going to not work out for you, you're going to get disappointed, depressed, and you might totally give up on all of your goals and go, I'll worry about that next year. We want you achieving your goals this year. So make sure you check out that video first. Download the free Goal Setting for Families workbook that I give you. It will walk you through the steps of how to use the galometer. Now, in our second video of the Setting Goals and Achieving Them challenge, which you can see over here, we talked about affirmations and how they affect our subconscious mind. How the words that we actually put into our minds then affect reality. And we talked about the law of attraction and how you can get the law of attraction working in your favor. So if you haven't seen that one, make sure you watch that one first, because you have to understand the principles behind the law of attraction in order to have them work for you. Plus, I share a very personal story in there. You may have seen me cry. But that's okay, and that actually brings me to today's video because I want to share with you a technique that is going to help you achieve your goals even faster. Alright, so I did this special process that can be very uncomfortable but is so incredibly rewarding and will help you so much. So if you're okay to be just slightly uncomfortable to actually get to the other side and achieve your goals, then give me a like. Alright? It's time to change your world. If you are happy with how everything in your life is right now, your family, your wealth, your career, your health, everything in your life is perfect, and honestly you can just go away because we don't need to help you. You've already got it. We'll watch your video instead. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this technique with you. It possibly will hurt. It works better if it hurts, not like an ow hurt, but like an emotional, getting deep. We have internal negative blocks that we have taken on as truths over our years. Most of them form when we are little. in our first 6 to 8 years of age. And we want to make sure that we can recognize what those blocks are so that we can abolish them and create new positive pillars that will transform our world. If we have a deep-rooted feeling of unworthiness, of not being lovable, then how can we ever succeed? So I did this process, and you go into a meditation, which is not as difficult as it sounds. You can easily find some guided meditations. I have a link to my law of attraction tools that I use in the description below, and you can have that for free. So go ahead and use the meditation guidings that I use to get me in this state. So I got into a guided meditation, and I allowed myself to ask the question, what is holding me back? I understand how to be successful in life, and I have achieved tremendous success in many and in all of my areas of life. However, I am also aware that I have not achieved certain aspects of my life that I really wish I would achieve. And so I was curious, because knowing how it all works, I was wondering what was holding me back. And I had avoided looking back at my childhood mental blocks because, well, who wants to get uncomfortable, right? And I decided if I really wanted to achieve success, and because we're doing the setting goals and achieving them challenge, I felt I owed it to you to go through the process and share my experience with you so that you'll feel more comfortable and more guided and more love when you go through the experience yourself. So get yourself into a meditative state, breathing in and out, calming your mind. Calming your mind does not mean ignoring the thoughts, that's fine, but noticing the thoughts and letting them go. Asking yourself, what is holding me back? What mental beliefs about abundance in my world, about abundance with love, about abundance with health, about abundance with wealth, what is it that is holding me back, that is stopping me from achieving the greater success that I know I can achieve? So I went through the process and I came up with all of these blocks. Alright, so let's go over some of them, because when you find the blocks, it's very painful, but it is so rewarding, because now that you know what the problem is, now you can fix it. So here are some of the blocks that I came up with. I never realized how deeply I had this internal block of not feeling worthy of love, which is ironic because my name, Amanda, means worthy of love. Makes you wonder if the universe did that on purpose. Anyway, so I had an internal block of not being worthy of love, that other people could be loved, but I wasn't good enough to be loved. And I wasn't sure exactly where that block came up, but I am happy to know that I have found that block, and I can see it as being an honest block so that I can work on that. The next one is that I am not worthy of money. Now this one is more a societal influence, and growing up in a very low income family, when you are constantly penny pinching, and you have to be so concerned about the budget that you have and what you have available to spend, it changes the way you see the world. Everything feels like it's too expensive. I would often hear things like, we'll just take this one because that one's expensive, we don't need that one, this one is good enough. So I was hearing, that's expensive, I'm not worthy of expensive, this is good enough for us, this is good enough for me. And society also gives you this idea that if you're wealthy, people don't like you. I mean, look at stories like Ebenezer Scrooge, right, from the Christmas Carol. People don't like him. He's super wealthy, but he's very scrimpy on his money. He won't share it. But if you look around in our world, we have millions of incredibly wealthy people who are so generous and are making such a positive impact on our world. So we need to remove those negative beliefs. Now, does that mean there are not negative people? No, of course, there are people who have an abundance of wealth who are not nice and doing bad things, but we can't focus on that. Money does not make you good or bad. It's just a tool. If you're a good person and you have a lot of money, you do good in the world. If you're a bad person and you have a lot of money, you're going to do bad in the world. It's just an amplifier of who you are, and that's why you need to figure out what your blocks are. All right, and another one that I had, I was always that weird kid in school, the one who was different. I was always that kid that had the rose-colored glasses on. I just saw possibilities and opportunities in everything, and you would think that would be a great factor to have, like a great characteristic to have. However, it upset a lot of people, and I would constantly hear things like, Amanda, be realistic. And it was probably just because of their internal blocks, feeling like, well, it's not that positive. I'm having a rough time. She can't be talking about this happy thing because, you know, things hurt. And so they would take it on personally, and instead of looking at themselves, they'd reflect it back out to me by saying, Amanda, be realistic. And so I have an internal block of thinking that positivity is not realistic. Negativity is considered realistic, when in reality, realistic is both. It's the positive, it's the negative, it's just the thing without the actual positive negative. It's just the thing, the incident, the situation. So we make it positive or negative simply by the filters we put on, but it doesn't mean that we are not seeing the thing for what it is. And so I've learned that, but I hadn't realized how deep that block had still been sitting in me. And so those were a couple of the blocks that I came up with. And then what you want to do is take those blocks and turn them into positive pillars. So the next thing I did was this. And I created pillars to reflect what I actually preferred my blocks to become. And this is where we're going to put these things onto our vision board to start chipping away at those blocks, eradicating them, and filling our brains with the new mental beliefs that are actually going to help us. So, of course, the very first one, I'm not worthy of love, is a pretty easy, quick fix. I am worthy of love. See, these don't have to be difficult, but it makes a huge difference to what our minds hear. So I have pillars like, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of money. Because I know internally, every time money flows into my life, I create good in the world with it. I know this. And so it's an easy transition for me to go from I'm not worthy of money to I am worthy of money. And as far as the one of being that weird kid, I am a treasure. I am a treasure. I am somebody who can light up and motivate you. Therefore, I'm not weird. I'm a treasure. Now, not everybody will appreciate me as a treasure, and that's fine. The point is, if I can believe in myself how valuable I am, and I do understand how valuable I am from a very logical perspective, but from an emotional, mental block perspective, I needed to work on this. And by being a treasure in my own eyes, then I can help you better. And that's what I want for you. It's just like they say in the airplanes when they say, okay, if the mask falls down, put it on yourself first, and then put it on the other. And at first you think, okay, that's kind of selfish. I'm going to save myself first. But you can't save anybody else if you don't save yourself first. Sure, you might get one on one, and then you're out and you're gone. You may not even get all the way on that one first person because you have to reach over. You need to take care of yourself first. Once you have the mask on, you can put the mask on everybody around you. Do you see what I'm saying here? Stop feeling bad about thinking about yourself first. We are raised to think we are selfish. We are not selfish. We are self-full. And by being fully healthy and fully vibrant and in love with ourselves, then we don't doubt, we don't question, we don't take offense to other people. We can love them fully. So that's the message I wanted to share with you. Now let's get back to the vision board, because this is really exciting. It's been a few years. I did this vision board before I got sick. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at my playlist of what it was like for me when I was in a coma and nearly lost my life, which oddly enough, has been one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me. But you can check it out in this playlist over here. And so I did my vision board before I got sick, and since then I didn't have the strength to redo it. So instead I just kept popping things on it. And so that is actually one of the things that is wrong with this vision board. It is chaotic. And guess what? It reflects my world. It became tremendously chaotic. And so I had a look at it and I thought, I need to change this. But I wanted to wait so that I could do this together with you. So I'm going to take everything off of here and show you which things were serving me and which things were not serving me. And then we have all of my new pictures to put on, and I'll explain how they work. Okay, so first of all, I have Canadian Tire money everywhere. I wanted to have something that would showcase the idea of money flowing constantly into my life. I still really like that idea. The only problem is it says things like 10 cents, 5 cents. Well, that's not a very abundant amount. However, I do have these bills up here, and they are for $1 million US, so a much more abundant space. So we're going to remove the Canadian Tire money, and I might tweak them. I'm going to think about it. And we're going to showcase these and showcase these, but in a more positive light. These are, I receive Amazon checks as part of my business from Amazon Media in Germany. And when they send me my checks, they actually print it out on a page that has 3 checks, 2 void empty checks, and 1 that actually is the real check. So what I did is, after of course cashing the real check, I took the empty checks and I just crossed out the void and all of that, and I put in amounts that I would love to receive in the mail from my Amazon accounts. And so what is working with these is the ability to see daily these huge amounts coming from an affiliate program. That is a very positive feeling. And to see my name on there, that is a very positive feeling. What is not working are all these crosses out. Now I had to cross it out to get rid of the void, because I didn't want my brain thinking, okay, everything's voided, everything is non-existent. So I wanted to get rid of that. However, I should have done it differently so that we covered that up and all you saw were the positives. Because this tells my brain, this is not real. If I covered that up, it is real. Alright, and the other thing is the dates. I might want to cover the dates up so that either it's a date in the future that's still coming. I don't want it to think like only this happens in the past. So those kind of things. The next thing that I have here is, actually it's underneath here, so let me just move this. I have a jar, I have a jar here with my tacks. So I'm using a cork board. I've put a link to that in that Law of Attraction spreadsheet as well, where you can get cork boards. So you can probably just find them at your local office supplier. Couldn't think of the word. Okay, so we're going to remove all these because I want to show you something under here, and I want to show you this. Okay, so these are my $1 million bills. I want to keep those. And this is a check that I wrote to myself years ago. Have you ever heard of Jim Carrey's story about how before he became famous as an actor, he actually decided to write himself a check for $1 million, and he dated it for when he wanted to cash it. And he carried that in his wallet and had that with him for many years, and then it actually got to the stage where he received that check for $1 million. And so I thought, okay, I can do that. So I took one of my checks and I made it a ridiculously large amount, and I put a future date on it, which I have updated over time. So that's one of the things I need to do, is create a brand new fresh check with a new date and a new amount. I love the number 13, and so I put 13 million on there, and I look forward to cashing that. Alright, so this one needs to be updated, so that's a new thing to do. This picture here is what I want to get to. Okay, this is a picture that really resonates with me. The idea of don't give up, because you're almost there. And this guy's super excited. He's going to get there. Look at all the treasures waiting for him. But this one is like, he gave up before he got there. And I really liked the message, but I've started to notice that subconsciously, even though I've got the words keep going, it's like, it's right there kind of thing. And this guy has wonderful energy of going for it, and he's almost there. First of all, that concept of it being almost there is not fabulous. It'd be nicer if he was in there. So we want to have something where he's in there. But secondly, this disappointed look, to see that every single day of, I didn't quite make it. I didn't quite make it. So I'm actually going to take this one off of my vision board now. Although I loved the concept, it's working against me. And I'd rather have something where he's in the abundance than working hard to get to the abundance. Because that's another thing, is we have this internal block of having to work hard for success. And we need to remove that and change that and see how abundance is actually already there. And all we have to do is open ourselves up to it, to allow it to come through. The universe wants you to have a fun, happy, fulfilled, loving, abundant life. We are our own blocks. So I am getting rid of that one. No more struggle. It's time to simply let things flow. These are positive words. This is a checklist of the different things that I like to get done on my websites. So it's more of a reminder. So it's not really something that should be on my vision board. It could be on another part of my wall just to remind me of my daily tasks. These ones, and I've got some more around here, these are positive affirmations from Natalie Ledwell from Mind Movies, from her Money Abundance course. And so I printed them off from the course and I posted them around. I like to just look up and randomly choose an affirmation, but instead we're going to use them differently, and I will still post these around the walls just because I enjoy looking over and just seeing which affirmation pops out at me. It's a fun little game I play with myself. I also have a ton of these vouchers on my wall, and it's because I like reminding myself that in order to receive, we need to give freely, to not be scarce with our money and our time and our efforts. Oh, sorry, I get very uncomfortable sitting and short of breath. Again, you can check all that information out in my playlist over here, but the COMA, it's lovely. But these, they remind me to donate. So I donate to the Canadian Red Cross and to other charities as well. But the Canadian Red Cross sent these vouchers. They actually have special donors that will triple the donations that you give. So that I really enjoy, where if I were to give $100, it becomes $300. So I like to put these up to remind me. However, I don't really enjoy looking at them. And so the reason is it's very cold looking. It doesn't feel warm and welcoming. The red color is very sharp, so it looks kind of angry, and so I'm not going to put those on there. I have other things I'm going to do instead. Here's a timetable, a tentative timetable from my my son. So yeah, I also was using my board for school things for my children, so that's going to have a different space as well now. I like having these thank you cards because I've worked with a lot of different organizations. I've done some online seminars, and I've done different works here and there, and they'll send me thank you cards in the mail, which are so nice, and I like putting them around, but I had it closed. And although it does say thank you, it doesn't really help. So if I had it open, or even just cut off this part, and perhaps around my vision board, but not on my vision board, posted the positive comments from the thank you cards, that would be more effective than a closed card. So this was a really cute thing that our local library did. They did a sleepover for your stuffies. So you took your favorite stuffed animal and you brought it to the library, and they spent an overnight party at the library, and the library then took photos of them in all these different situations, and in this one they're reading a story to all the stuffed animals. And so my children and I, we each brought our favorite teddy bears, and we had them enjoy an evening. And so it just brings me pleasure to see this, and just to remember my kids as young. They're teenagers now and almost grown up, and it just reminds me, but it's not something that should be on my vision board. It's something that I could post on my fridge or somewhere else to remind me of that. More Canadian Tire money. A Cineplex gift card. I probably put it in there to remind myself and then totally forgot. So again, I was using my board as more of a to-do board than a vision board, and that's why it wasn't really working for me. But I just got $10 worth of free food at Cineplex. Alright, so this is a really fun one. I'm not a huge believer in buying lottery tickets in the idea that you're hoping to win, because the odds are really working against you. However, it's fine if it's just like a fun thing you're doing as like a game, that you're not like counting on it and it's extra money from your fun jar and you just feel like you want to. So one time we decided to go ahead, and they probably thought I was ridiculous because I had to ask them, how do you fill this out? But we won $5. And so I changed the number from $5 to 5 million, and I put that on my vision board to show my mind that I was going to win $5 million. It hasn't happened yet. I'm not sure if I want to put it back on, simply because I have an internal block about the lottery, that it's not, I suppose, valid money, although it is, and our lotteries do a lot of good, but I don't like the idea of promoting lotteries, because I'm afraid that people are going to buy lottery tickets desperately hoping to win when the odds are not in your favor. And so it's just a responsibility thing, I guess. Cute little oven mitt that my daughter made for me. More affirmations. Love being reflected back at me. I do like that, so I might keep that. This was an eye that my daughter made for me, and I love it, but psychologically I'm being watched. And that can do a number on your brain. It's kind of like trying to work with somebody looking over your shoulder the whole time. You feel tense, so as much as I love it, I think I'm just going to put it in a notebook of special artwork that she's made, instead of having it constantly over my mind. It's really fun to clear up your vision board, so keep in mind as well, when you create your vision board is not something that's going to be static forever. You're going to upgrade it. Hopefully you're not going to leave it quite as long as I did. It's really good to simply once a year have a look at your vision board, take away what's not working for you anymore or what you've already accomplished, and then put new images, new words, new phrases on there so that it works for you. You may have noticed in my other video, I'm a little bit obsessed with Anne of Green Gables and, well, more specifically Lucy Maud Montgomery, so I have a lot of her stuff on here. This is the house that she lived in and had her children. They were born in there, and it's very close to us here in Uxbridge. It's in Leesdale, so I enjoy having that around. And, yeah, she makes me feel happy and inspired to be the best that I can be and to be a positive influence in the world, so she means a lot to me. This was a quote. This is from when I worked at my previous job, and it's really well worn. And it doesn't look very vibrant, but I love the saying on it. It says, "Have you started yet? A year from now you will wish you have. Just do it." And I love that quote. I have no idea where it's from, but I saw it somewhere. I printed it off, and it's awesome. But the colors and it's old. It does not emanate positivity and abundance, but the words are good. So, and this picture will stay here as well. This is my happy place. This is a picture that I drew after a meditation, a place that was going to be calming yet abundant and exciting. And this is my fields and my stream and my sunshine, and this is something that brings me incredible happiness. So this will stay on here, and we are going to now fill this with all of the things that are going to work in our favor. Let me just clear this up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now my board is clear and ready to be started fresh. So the first thing you want to do with your vision board is you want to get photos that are going to represent the goals. So in our last videos, we talked about what do you want to be, and what do you want to do, and what do you want to have. And in order to get the have, right, which is over here, you need to first do something to get to the have. And in order to do something, you need to be internally motivated, so you need to be a certain kind of way in order to then motivate yourself to do something, which will then result in the have. when you're creating your goals, you can have goals in all three categories. And so things like, what do you want to be? I want to be kinder. I want to be more generous. I want to be patient. I want to have, be more loving. And things that you want to do. So I want to go on vacation. I want to travel in space. I want to meet wonderful people who are like-minded and, inspire me. I want to save animals. I want to save people. I want to donate my time and make a positive difference in this world. What do you want to do? And then, of course, what do you want to have? I want to have this beautiful home. I want to have this car that drives so smoothly and is environmentally friendly. What do you want to have? I want to have a cottage. I want to have a yacht. It doesn't matter. It could be I want to have a board game. The point is you are totally allowed to have goals for the things. And you're going to get them by the doing and by the being. So you're going to get photos that represent them. But I want you to be very careful with the photos that you choose. They have to be positive photos. So here's a good example for you. This is a photo I have of my YouTube channel. I want it to continue to grow because then I know I can reach more people and make a positive impact at a larger scale. And so I printed this off, and on the computer it looked great, and I could see that this was like gold sparkling. When I printed it off, it looks like it's burning, and I don't want it to be burning. So when I put it on my vision board, I might actually cover that part up. I'm not sure. I'm going to think about that one. So I have photos for all of these different things that I want to accomplish, and we're going to have so much fun popping them on your board. A trick that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have as many photos with your face on it. You could get the photos printed off photo quality. It will look nicer. I just simply print it off on the computer and then I just cut it out. It's pretty simple. I like to keep a white edge. I just find it gives a really nice, clean, fresh look to it. You know how the old photos were always printed with the white around the edge? And so by printing it off on paper, I can just cut a little bit of the white edge, and then it gives it that nice, fresh, clean, crisp. And then when the photos are all together, they are separated by the white edge, which makes it a little easier to pick out the different photos. Now this photo that I am cutting out right now, I have a trick in there. I don't know if you can see that, but take a look. So I've got, this is Vishen Lakhiani on stage, and I have superimposed myself as if I was also on stage with him. I wasn't really on stage with him at that particular event, but I like the idea of seeing myself constantly on stage with these other entrepreneurs who are very similar to me in the way that they want to help the world through empowering people. And I look forward to being on stages and helping people in a grander scale and having fun with like-minded entrepreneurs. And I have been blessed to be able to do that already. So this is a reminder of the next steps, the next levels, the next opportunities that I want to be in. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just first lay out the photos that I have. You could lay it out so that you have be, do, have. I like to immerse myself in the experience, and I'm going to put the goals that I really want the most and that really have a deep connection to me the most, closest to the picture that makes me feel the happiest, the most prosperous, and the most abundant, so that it's like it's touching these goals. So the most important ones are going to go around, and then we're going to go out from there. So they're all important, but some are more important using the kilometer. So I'll just speed ahead and do that, and then we'll start putting it together. Okay, so I have sort of sorted. I realize it probably just looks like a mess, but it makes sense to me. And what I'm going to do, because if you think about it, if I put pictures there and then there, what I'm going to end up doing is like this. Okay, so I'm going to pin them there, but then I'm going to fill in around so that I'm not blocking my most important. But my most important is psychologically coming towards me. I am receiving it. So that's another little subliminal trick. And when we talk next week about how to create a movie version of this, which is really exciting, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of that subconscious and that subliminal trick as well. All right, so I've got a bunch of tacks here, and this is incredibly exciting, so I'm going to start putting on my visions. Alright, so I've come up with my first dilemma that I really wanted to make sure you don't make the same mistake. I didn't want to have the full picture because it's just a lot of space that's not needed, and I have a lot of pictures. So I didn't like the idea of having it just like that because then that's wasted space, and really this is what I needed. And so I was going to slide it under because, you know, I'm artistic, and I'm like, oh, that'll just slide under. The reason I don't like that is because my picture, as much as I love it, it has a frame around it. So that means that I am here, this is a window, and this is my reality that I'm looking to, which means I am blocked from my reality by the window frame. So if I get rid of the window frame, now I'm in my reality. Does that make sense? But I don't want to cut this away because I like having that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to cut the pictures so that it matches with that line. So I'll place the pictures first, and then afterwards I'll come and I'll trim it so that it matches the line, and then it's like, this is the this is the depth of the idea, and all these things are already coming towards me. I'm already there. Because I did the depth work, I'm already there. Because I found my zen in my happy place, I'm already there. So that's what I want to do, and I wanted to share that with you because it's really important, a little trick. So we'll trim it up afterwards. First we're just going to line things up. Oh, sorry, it gets very uncomfortable for me. But it is so worth it. Alright, here we go. I am working on getting stronger and fitter, and this is my ideal weight, and I am so excited, and she just represents the feeling that I have about it, so I want that one to be like right there. So I'm going to slide her in between there. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay. Then I like to remind myself things like, it's good to breathe in life fully. So I have some photos that are just to inspire me, that mean something to me personally. But it's always important to make sure the words match what it is you're trying to achieve. So not like, I wish I had fresh air. No, I breathe in fresh air all the time. There it is. Don't want to lose the tack. Oh, attack of the tacks. I'm going to work on this, and I will be back. Bet you never thought making a vision board was this difficult. Only if you're a lung patient. So one of the things that I deal with is it's very difficult for me to reach away from myself and do work far away. I really have to work like in this zone, or else, as you can tell, I start to lose my ability to talk. So again, check out my playlist about that there. Oh, but what do you think? Isn't it looking amazing? It's making my soul feel so much joy. Just seeing all of my dreams, all of my visions, all of my goals, just seeing them all there, it makes me so excited. I can't wait to put this in my office. And then just to sit and look at this every single day. Because what I'll do is, again, because of my lung issues, I'll do some work and then I sit back and put my feet up. Alright, and then catch my breath, and so I'll lean back and I'll just look at my vision board and feel and imagine as if I'm already there, living what I see. And that gives my blood a chance to go back and have my lungs a chance to catch up. Oh, but I am so happy that I'm sharing this with you, so thank you for putting up with listening to me talk like this right now. Alright, almost there. Few more to go. I am letting the papers go above the vision board and down below because I don't want it to be a finite thing. I want my soul to feel like it's ever expanding. and that it's always around me, and that's why I'm hiding the edges of the board. This was from a chorus line. We did this show there, and I love this photo of me on stage with all these young teenagers, and I was just as vibrant and alive as they were, and, well, okay, so maybe not completely, but you know what I mean. I was still in the prime of my life, and this is one of my aspirations, is to be back on stage dancing and singing with full freedom and abundance. Okay, the ones on the bottom will be easier to replace or to position once I have it hanging back on the wall. So I'm not going to worry too much about them being not exactly how I want them right now. Ta-da! Oh, this brings me such joy. I've actually decided not to bother trimming away. I like it just being like a peephole of my peace and my joy, my abundance coming out, and that it's brought forth all of these goals and dreams and feelings, and everything is very optimistic, light. I've decided not to use, I had a couple of things because my eyesight is starting to go a little bit, so I had some pictures to help remind me that my eyes are healing. And then I remembered that picture of that my daughter had drawn. I don't want to have eyes watching over me, that feeling of being watched, being judged. So I've decided to not put those on there, and instead just trust in the vibrancy of other images on here that will show me my health, and that will help heal me all in general. So yeah, I'm going to go and hang this up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I might just take a rest first. And this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for helping me get this done. It's something I really needed to do for a long time, so I'll be right back. There, doesn't that look much better? Ta-da! I added a couple of extra things as well, because remember I was going to add the money, but I didn't want the Canadian Tire money showing because I wanted it to be real money. Or at least in my mind feel like it was real money, not just 5 cents, 10 cents, you know, a little bit of change. So what I did, take a look here, here, I'm going to turn you around. Those are all the $1 million notes, and the Canadian Tire money is all behind it. I just have a really nice thick stack of it there. Plus, with the checks, same thing. I covered up everything that I didn't want to see, and then I just made sure that the big numbers I was able to see. So there's my vision board. Take a look at that. And this is so inspiring to me. I can't wait to see what vision boards you come up with and what you create. Oh, you can see that I've added a world globe there too. It was normally in the living room, but I want to see it every day when I'm working to remind me of all of the wonderful people all around the world who I am inspiring with my message and how much it means. Plus, I love travel, so I get to see where I want to go. Oh, and don't forget that the words that you surround yourself with will have a huge impact on your subconscious mind. So remember that book that I wrote down all of my blocks that I had, and then I wrote all the pillars? Do you remember that? So what I've done is I've actually taken, let me just show you here, I've taken a piece of paper and I've written out all of the opposites that I had written for my pillars instead of my blocks, plus other inspiring things that I know I really want my subconscious mind to feel at home with. So I'm going to cut these out and I'm going to pop them on my board over here. All right. So how excited and ready are you to make your own vision board? Give me a thumbs up if you are ready, and write in the description below or in the comments below, I am ready to attract abundance and happiness, health, vitality, love into my life. I can't wait to see the vision boards that you create. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is create a moving version of this vision board so that you feel like you step right into the world of your dreams. You are going to love it. I'm going to tell you all the secret little ninja tricks of how to really work your subconscious mind to make sure that your dreams feel like they already exist, which is going to double amplify your ability to achieve your dreams this year. I am so excited, and after you check that one out, then make sure you check out the Pre-Made Mind movie for abundance. I'll see you over there.